We are just going to be taking a look at the current price market. Just do a live and a small chat about the prices, you know. Let's talk about the current price market at this point. Talk about Euro USD. Let's talk about the current price market because there's quite a lot happening at this point, you know. Because in the morning we took some buys there on Euro USD, and then we ended up closing some losses, and it has to see that price is back at it has to see that price is back at it's back at where we entered. Is even past pushing that, you know. It just breaks my heart to see it doing that at this point. And there are some other pairs that I want to look into. There are some other pairs that I want to look into at this point, but we will just see right now. You know, with what we have right there right now, just looking at the current price market on Euro USD, we took a loss, you know, on Euro USD in the morning right there. If you take a look at it, we bought, and then, you know, it was nice profits to get for starters. It was going well until we then ran in a loss, and then just right after that we just hit stop loss. We got stopped out. There's a reason why we actually, or there's a reason why I go in with stop out prices, because you must understand that not we are, like, as in everyone who trades with me is not gonna have a bigger capital. We need to be cautious about where we put stop losses and everything. We got stopped out on the Euro USD, but currently, looking at how price is still moving, it may still be bullish, but then I can't re-enter at this point, because even if it does go up, I don't have the necessary entries to solidify the part of, like, it may start pushing upwards again or whatnot. But one of the other things that I did mention in the morning was the stream on the stream was the gold part, because the Euro USD failed. Actually, yesterday we had two setups on Euro USD, and we only had one which failed. From here we took our first loss yesterday on Euro USD around this point, and then today we took another loss at around this price, which is quite okay. Like, it's not, I'm not good about it. Like, I'm not okay. The only loss that I understood was this part right here, because it even went past my expectations, you understand, which is some other thing. I think the reason why we took a loss there was also the part of, I didn't look at the 1 hour time frame. It gave us a candlestick confirmation of a drop. I didn't really see that. I was only focused on 30 minutes and also 15 minutes, which led to the loss, which is why I'm saying, like, okay, it's understandable. We took a loss there. and then currently now we only took a loss because our loss was at our stop loss was at 15 points, 10 points, 10 pips. And looking at going at 30 pips, I don't like going to 30 pips, because to me, according to me, 30 pips is a lot. I saw even from the loss that I was holding that 30 pips is not the way to go about trading currency pairs for me personally, because of how I enter as well. So we took a loss out of it, but looking at the setup on its own, it may still play out as a buy, but then from my side, it means that it has actually failed to hold the buy. Even if it goes up, I won't be proud of it. I'll just be cool with it that it goes up. But then focusing on gold. From gold, I did mention on the previous stream I don't remember what time it was, but if you go watch the streams in the morning and also a day before, I did mention the part of gold as to where are we looking at price going. And then I did mention also in the Telegram channel that we are looking at gold going back to 26.90, not even going back, we're looking at gold going to 26.90, which is exactly at around this price, 26.90. So that's the price that we're looking at gold to reach. And then if you were here on those two set of streams, you would have actually saw the prices that we actually mentioned as to where to look for buying opportunities, and then what to look for as well. And we see that price did exactly that. If you go and watch the stream on gold, right, if you go, it's very important for you to go watch the stream, because you're going to understand where we actually saw the buys, or rather the prices that we actually looking at this point. And currently we do have that price. Unfortunately, it's going to take us some time there. Let me do this, but I just want you to go and watch that YouTube stream when you have the time. When you have the time, go watch that stream on YouTube, here on YouTube, right? It was, I want to show you the stream. I just want to show you the stream. Let me just show you the stream. I don't know which one it was, but I know for sure it's one of the two right here. I'm just gonna do a pass market, just like pass through, just to show you where we have gold. Anywhere where we see gold, maybe wait, I think that's gold, if I'm not mistaken. That has to be gold. Yep, that's gold. If you take a look at gold, let it load. I want you to see the gold from yesterday. I want you to see gold from yesterday. I don't know what's going on. Let it load. Let it load. Let it load. Dale udlalanga wayestrateni zange wabuya, ngiboni stando zam. I want you to look at it. I don't know what's going on. I don't know why does it load slow, because I want to show you the stream there from yesterday. I don't know what's going on. But it's taking time. It's just taking time to load. I don't know what's wrong. Let me reload. Let me reload. Just want where there is gold. There we go. If you watch the stream from yesterday, I just want you, when you have the time, you go and watch the stream from yesterday. You can see there we had actually marked out the prices where we were looking at gold actually retesting for the buying opportunities, right? If you go and watch even the stream in the morning, I was showing when I was actually executing the buy. But now, looking at the current price market, you can see right here we're waiting for price to come back to this area. And what happened? Price did exactly just that. It did come break below and started pushing even upwards. And I did mention from the setup. Now from the setup only, we were only just focusing on re-entering for a buying opportunity, because I did mention that we are definitely going to break above this price. But then in terms of like targets, there was no exact TP that I could identify as to where will gold actually reach, right? But then when I looked at the current price, as in like the current price that gave us like a retracement, it's the one that gives us the target, the set of targets to focus on, being the first one, which is the negative 61.8 retracement, not retracement, the negative 61.8 extension, and the 2.142 extension. So those are the two targets that we're looking at on gold. But then the one that I mentioned in the telegram, it's the negative 2.142%, which is 2690. So it means that today, even though today alone we start hurrying. Let me take a deep breath, let me talk slowly, because today we also have news event. We have an event actually, which is at around 2:30 right there, which is unemployment claims. We're not sure how volatile will it affect gold. As I did mention, gold does not depend on the state's economy, but then if it does become volatile, then we are looking at gold marking out a new higher high, meaning which is like an all-time high again. We're just looking at gold marking up a new all-time high over again, which is today. So but the highest TP that to focus on from my side is definitely this 2690, and then hopefully after it marks up that, maybe we can have some retraces to the downside, because we haven't had gold retracing back to some areas, some key areas down below, so we're still looking forward for gold selling. But then unfortunately, the monthly time frame, or this current month, we're looking at more buys than selling. So from my point of view, whatever you do, just look for continuation, and that's all. Because I think even when we looked at the daily bias multiple since PPI, I did mention, now it's like 30 days now. It's 30 days. 3 days. There has been 3 days where like the daily bias of gold was not really fully met. There were days where the daily bias was bearish, and then the daily bias just came in as, or like the daily bias was bearish, but that the price on gold just became bullish all the way. There's been some days where it has done that, and I'm just too concerned about that. Maybe from next month I can start checking if whether the daily bias does hold or not. There are days where gold really respected, but for now, however it's moving, it's just crazy. And looking at the euro, what's this part, the euro NZD, it completed the setup from 2 days ago, if you go and watch it. Also Nasdaq, it's approaching, as a hitting. So Nasdaq is approaching the last target, which was the price that I did mention from the previous streams. As I did mention, it's very important for you to go and watch those streams so that you can take a look at where we're looking at price moving from. And then Nasdaq, definitely once it reaches that price, 20,364, hopefully that would be the end of Nasdaq, and then maybe we can start looking for new opportunities, either being continuation to the upside back to that 2.4, which would be until this price, or not. But my sort of like price prices that I say like Nasdaq would reach lastly would be this one. If it goes there, then it's just an extra push, which is okay. And then with regards to AUDSD, I think also on AUDSD, if you look at the setup that I did send in the Telegram channel, I did send this part to say that if AUDUSD then breaks above this weak TRL, then we may be looking at a buying opportunity until those areas. But now I had to extend the weak TRL because it will still help us trade currently, right? And then I just need to check which time frame was that TRL from. Let me just check which time frame is it from. ADSD, it was from 5 minutes. Okay, then I have to go to 5 minutes. I just need to go to 5 minutes because that week TRL still going to be active, and then at least now, because now the price is from a lower price, at least the target now increases instead of being 1:3. We need 5 minutes now. We need 5 minutes. Okay, it's sitting properly. Take it from here. That's ADSD. Price did what? Broke above, but then didn't confirm the buys. That's why it broke back in. And then same thing applies. Broke out again. Didn't confirm. Right. So let's take a look at 15 minutes. Oh, 15 minutes is not a good price to look at. Okay, we still stick to 5 minutes, then we wait for a retest. So the only thing that you're gonna do is just wait for a retest, because now it broke above but failed to give you the confirmation, or failed to give us a confirmation of the push. So right now you wait for a retest. From that retest you still wait for an engulfing, then you can push gold, you can push it even higher. That's what you should be looking at right now. Unfortunately, EURUSD just disappointed me, to be honest. Disappointed me. Maybe from the retest, you can get something, 10 points. Then we can take it to the last TP, which would be this one. That would be the last TP from the retest. But let's take a look at other confirmations that we can get besides the trend on its own. And you must understand that the only reason why we're using trend lines right now is because we don't have set of rejection prices that we can utilize for buying. Unlike gold, we had some rejection prices that we allowed us to utilize, but then okay, right now still the same thing. It means there's no rejection prices that I can use. or there's none at this point, but I just want to check something. By any means, if price does the following, if it breaks back in and just continues dropping and doesn't give us any confirmation that we may be looking for that buy, then that's the price that we're just gonna be waiting for as well. So you have two set of areas that you can look for entries right now, which is one and then two. Only if this one does not give us the set of confirmations to enter, then you leave it. This one if it doesn't, this one also, that's where you look for rejections. If the rejections do not come or do not give us anything, then we just leave it as it is. But it would be nice to see it retesting this area and then start pushing from there. That's what I personally see right there. It would be nice to see it respecting this part, and then if it fails, we come to that second one. And then your target still the same thing. You still target the current highs, which is why I'm still mentioning right now that you see the current Euro USD that we took a loss from. It just breaks my heart because I cannot re-enter it. I have to just leave it as it is. But then if we had actually extended the stop losses maybe to like 30 points, it could have been a valid setup. But from my side, 30 points is a lot. The reason why I'm saying 30 points is a lot is because of how I enter in the markets. Based off the lot sizes I'm using, I cannot go for 30 point stop loss from my own. But for someone who's using small lot sizes, basically maybe your maximum lot that you're using, it's like not like as in multiple trades, but as in like collectively, if your maximum lot, your maximum trade, as in like collectively, if you were using 0.10, then I guess when going for 30 points or 30 stop loss, it's manageable. But for me, going 0.05 is a lot of them. I cannot be holding so much until price comes to this area, so I can't hold that much. But at least if I can use one collective trade, 0.10, only one, then I can hold 30 points. But I cannot. It's not how I'm setting out my setups. On currencies, I want to risk a maximum of 15 points or 15 pips. I cannot go above that. Gold, I'm gonna go to gold. What happened on Euro USD? Euro USD, we took a loss yesterday. I'm just gonna show you. We took a loss yesterday on Euro USD. That trade, yeah. If you watch the stream in the morning, I also mentioned that part. I'm just gonna show you again. We took a loss yesterday from this point. We took a loss on Euro USD. I'm just gonna show you that we took a loss from yesterday. We took a loss from yesterday. We took two losses today. I just want you to check in the premium signal group. We took losses on Euro USD. The first one was that one yesterday, and then the second one is this current one. Hence, I'm saying even today we entered right here, but then our stop losses were around this point. We got stopped out, and as I said, I don't do my stop losses on currencies maximum of 15 points, so I can't go beyond it's like 10 minimum and then maximum of 15. But we got stopped out nonetheless, and according to how I trade, I cannot re-enter the setup. I just have to leave it as it is. Even if it does continue going up, it's okay. It's not a trend smash. I'll just like set for psychological purposes. I cannot try to force to re-enter the very same setup over and over, because now it's gonna fuck up my mental if I take another loss from the very same setup. You understand? So I stay away from that thing and just focus on another thing. But just take a look at it. This was NZD, which one? This was the current. This is for today, ne? This is for today. And then yesterday we took a loss from the Euro USD as well, which was this one from yesterday. If you were here, it's part of the losses. But as I said, I'm not proud of the losses myself, because at this point the only loss that I think, from my personal point of view, that I understand as to, okay, I was definitely wrong, was this sell right here. Was this part of the sell from here, the buy from here, which is understandable. When looking at like 1 hour time frame, I saw that, hey, I was totally very, very, very wrong, which is understandable from that point. But this current one, I think, not even not even from a perspective of thinking, but looking at price wise, maybe the entry from where we entered right there, it only held just for a few seconds, and then when I was waiting for a confirmation to check if whether the setup is still holding, that thing rejected heavily, and then next thing we hit stop loss before even confirming if whether the setup was valid in a high time frame or not. And then that's when we got kicked out. We are not re-entering, we leave it as it is. If it goes, that's okay. And then going to gold, just to re-mention on the gold part, I did mention the part on gold to say that if you watched the stream, from yesterday, if you not even, I think not even from yesterday, I don't know when was this. If you go and watch the stream, this was 20 hours ago. It's not even long. That's 20 hours ago of stream. If you go and watch the stream, you can see right here we marked out gold. That I still remember mentioning this part, that we had a trend line right here, and I did mention that it wouldn't be fair, not even fair, it wouldn't be correct for us to be looking at continuation, whereas the trend line on its own was not weak. It was saying it's a strong trend line, meaning that by any means we were looking at the rejection, so we were looking at price. So the trend line was around here, if I'm not mistaken. The trend line was around here, if I drew it correctly, looking at this part, right? That's where the trend line was at. And looking at the time frame that I marked out that trend line, I did mention that we cannot be looking at a continuation to the upside, because the trend line on its own, it's a strong trend line, and for the fact that it's a strong trend line, we cannot force to continue price, because by any means there could be a rejection that would bring price back below the trend line, which we see it just played a long upside and then back down to that price. And then from that stream, you can see I did mention, once price breaks below, that's when you can start looking for buying opportunities. And then what happened? Exactly just that, broke below, and then the next thing started hiking. And from that, from just this setup alone, besides what's happening currently today, from just it breaking below and started shooting to the upside, there was no set target as to like where are we looking at gold going, or what's the price level that we look for the buys to end. It was just a matter of, after it breaks we buy, and then TP open, just like that. But then lucky enough, price just gave us a sort of like a structural confirmation that gave us a retracement, which we can use Fibonacci for extensions as to where to look at targets and all of those things. And for the fact that we also have news event today, it's only safe to say, do the right thing as right now. Just make sure if you are in an early trade, that's better. If you're not in an early trade by 1:30 and it's not running good, just leave whatever that you're doing, because we're not sure if whether gold will be highly impacted with the news, and we're not even sure if whether the news will be highly volatile as we think. You see, so right now just leave everything as it is. But then what I'll just be looking at is most definitely that AUDUSD. If AUDUSD performs well, then I can definitely start looking at buying there. But if it doesn't, it's not the train smash. There will always be other opportunities to go about. There will always be other opportunities to go about. I'm just not satisfied with what happened on Euro USD. It's just one set of trade that's still holding me right now to say, yeah, it's quite a loss, but we move forward. And for Nasdaq, everything that you see right here was also mentioned on the streams. Each and every stream had a set of its own priorities that we looked at. If you definitely take advantage of those streams as well. I don't know which one was it. I don't think it's this one. I don't know which stream was it where we looked at Nasdaq. But also same thing on Nasdaq. I did mention that on Nasdaq, whatever that happens, we were looking at a retracement from this at 50% or at 61.8 level. But if you go and watch those streams, you're gonna see that it definitely respected the 50 level. I did mention when it was actually respecting the 50%, and it started shooting upwards. And I did mention that your targets are not only the 61.8 level. The reason why you shouldn't have actually been targeting the 61.8 level is because the 61.8 level, if you go back in price, if you just let's just do 15 minutes. If you go and mark out the 61.8 level from the 15 minutes time frame, rather being 30 minutes or whatnot, if you put a horizontal line exactly at the 61.8 extension, right, and then you go back in like historical data, right, you go and look at where is the price seated. You're gonna see that price is just seated at a random candlestick, or just at a random price where there is no resistance, there's nothing, like it's just a random price. So for the fact that it's just sitting on a random price, it doesn't mean that price will definitely give you any reaction of like maybe pushing it downwards. We just expect it to pass through as in like a continuation, and you can see exactly from that 61.8 level, it didn't even give you any set of like breakout and retest, whatever that you may be thinking of. It just clearly did a simple thing. It just broke through and just started pushing even higher, just because the price on its own, it's not of a rejection, it's not even of a continuation to look for. It was just a price just that you could have used as a set of target, but then it didn't mean anything. Hence I said the only target that we have right here is this current price here that I mentioned, 20,060, 20,364. That's the only price that it's sitting as a solid price to actually where something can happen, either a breakout and a retest to push to the upside, or a rejection to the downside. Those are the only prices that you can look at. But then now the only last target would be this negative 2142 as an extension, only and only if price breaks above and continues, then that's your last TP. But then the main maximum TP that we're looking at is this one, not this one. This one is a definite, like according to extensions, it was meant to be hit. And then there could have been two things that could have happened there. Price might have actually hit the 61.8 level and rejected, but because the price that's sitting on, that's nothing, that's why it pushes past. So you need to understand those things so that it becomes easier for you to trade them. Yeah. From here I'm just gonna do something. We shall just meet on the next stream. Otherwise, God bless and stay well. We kick it out now. You saw AUDSD. If you didn't, just replay the